I first met Joanne my sophomore year of college. She was a freshman.
Like my first week of freshman year, or probably first day.
And I was actually with another girl at the time who was her roommate.
Because he was dating my roommate. I don't know if that should be in there.
It was really odd because she was just my girlfriend's roommate and I was just her roommate's boyfriend.
But yeah, probably then, because like obviously she was like, I'm going to the same school as my boyfriend. Do you want to meet him?
And then she left for Hungary in Poland for a year, and that we never even talked then. We met almost intimately my senior year and her junior year of college when we lived across the street from each other and I had been single for a while. So we met and then something connected from there. Just because I knew some of her other roommates as well, so I had seen them kind of coming and going and I knew they were all friends, and then eventually I saw her. She's a beautiful girl, so and I was single for a while. I invited her over to a house party at my house. We kind of like had an immediate connection from then. It was really amazing how I went from just seeing her as a girlfriend's roommate to now I love her and I want to spend the rest of my life with her.
First, let me start with a dream I had about this beautiful baby boy named Benjamin I was going to have, and well, it came true on May 21st. What a great baby. He slept through the night early on. He, as a toddler, did not put strange things in his mouth. It was a pretty easy. The first time mom, I didn't really appreciate it till I had the rest of my children, but it was really easy. Funny story, around 4 years old at daycare, he had a spider crawling on him, and the daycare teachers tried to take it off of him, and he said, "No, stop, that's my friend. Leave him on my shoulder." And I knew on that day that he was going to be an animal lover probably the rest of his life. I have tons of snake stories about him, but for the most part, he was a great kid. Loved animals, loved insects. When I first met Joanne, sweet girl. She played with Kaylee, even though she was only at her house for 2 hours. She spent half of it with Kaylee, so that already put her on my good side because I love people who are good with kids. I think she's good for Benjamin. Benjamin has a little more anxiety. He's a little more serious, and she brings smiles to his face, and she's just very calming for him. I see them in 10 years, living in a house with too many animals. Yes, I said it, too many animals. And I'm hoping they have 2, maybe 3 children. I think they'll all be beautiful since they're both beautiful people. I'm really happy that they're getting married. And good luck. God bless.
Hello, Joanne and Ben. Congratulations on this special day for both of you. I am happy for you guys. One of my kind of favorite memories is when you wanted to go out hunting. You wanted to sit next to me and I was trying to make you quiet. You would just say, after we got all out there and all ready to go. I don't want to really see anything get shot or killed. That was just kind of funny that you would do all this. It was a good experience for both of us to be out in the nature. I really kind of liked and enjoyed our times. Even when we went turkey hunting, it was a good experience because we could sit and talk. Also, when you're learning to snowboard and I was skiing, how that was such a different experience for you to learn how to snowboard when I tried to, but I couldn't teach you how to snowboard, but I could teach you how to ski. We did have a good time. I met Ben for the first time when Joanne and Ben were at Stevens Point, and Joanne invited me in for a lunch at our cafeteria. She was really nervous, and I didn't know what she was at all nervous about until she said she wanted me to meet her boyfriend. And I said, okay, that's not a problem, but I just wasn't expecting a guy that seemed to be really nice, but with long hair, long beard, and a man bun. I just was surprised at what Ben was like. It was certainly a good first meeting. Ben is a fantastic partner that you picked, and I think you should have a great life together. Keep in mind all the things that you both like to do and keep doing. Congratulations and have a great day.
It took about 1.5 years to get to this point. Started off with him in a sledding accident, believe it or not. And that wasn't a good day, but we worked through that, and I was really proud of him. But that's not the proud moment I'm thinking of. The proud moment I'm thinking of came about 13 months later. After Ben got in that sledding accident, then his swim season was done, his junior year. Couldn't really finish out his school year for that fact, let alone the swim season. He worked through the rest of the school year kind of, and then senior year, he got back at it, was in school. Swimming season came and he worked all year, and it was a sectional meet, and I still remember it to this day. It was great. He swam the breaststroke race. I think he was seated at 105 something, and I just remember me just yelling when he swam and cheering for him, and his mom cheering for him, and he went down to 102.3, qualified for the state meet. So it was just a long year to get back to, swimming great, and he just had a great sectional meet, a great senior year, and he went the following week to the state meet and finished 20th at the state meet. So yeah, just a great proud moment. Over a year of working hard, and it finally paid off. Things kind of came to a conclusion. Funny story about Ben. Not exactly sure how old he was, but it's one of our favorites, and we bring it up once in a while on occasion from time to time. We're heading up north. I think it was me and Ben in the front seat and Kelvin. I don't know if anyone else was in the car, but we're going up north on 41 there, and all of a sudden Ben just starts yelling, watch out on the side of the road, there's a cow or a deer or something. I think you said cow. As we get closer, I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about? A cow? What? And as we get closer and closer, then he goes, oh, never mind, it's just a crack in the road.
Hi, Ben and Joanne. This is your mom and dad giving you some last minute advice. We have made it 24 years, so I think we're doing something right, but not perfect. Remember patience. And Ben, you know that living with your dad, you have to have lots of patience. And forgiveness, because you're always going to make mistakes. Even me and your dad, we have to forgive each other. And then love. Remember why you fell in love. It makes things a little bit brighter.
Another thing, congratulations on this day from me and your mom. We love you both. And if you ever need any advice, you can come and give us a call. Not that we'll have the right answers, but just a second set of opinion always goes a long way. So congratulations on this day and your life ahead of you. We love you.
Do not know Joanne as well, of course, because we've only met her a few times, but I always thought...
You like her, though.
Yes. She's a very nice girl. It was easy to get to know. I have Norwegian background, and her and I got into talking about food. That was pretty interesting. I have to tell, I don't know if Joanne knows this story, but I have told this story many times about Ben because of his snake love, that even as a little boy, he loved snakes. It was just him and his dad. They were here. Jim said, if you eat your lunch, I'll take you out and we'll see if we can find some snakes. I said, we don't have snakes. He said, yeah, I saw one. Well, they found 2 snakes, to Ben's delight. They're just like garter snakes, but one was black. They were little small snakes, and we had them in a gallon jar and everything. He was just crazy about them, and he'd take them out every day and let them prowl around so they'd get their exercise. But I went to the store one day, and when I came home, he is sitting at the counter. We have a little TV, and he was watching TV, one of the snakes. I went, what are you doing? He said, "Oh, Grandma, we're just watching TV." I said, "Get those snake out of my house. They cannot be in my house." I'm thinking they're going to get away and we'll never find them. So he went, "Okay." So he opens the door that's right beside, and there's a little chair out there. He turns the TV completely around so he can see it sitting at the edge, right outside the door on the deck, with the snake. So it wasn't in the house anymore. But he loved those snakes. We had to convince him that they needed to be let go after about 10 days. Had that love. He had them named and everybody.
One
he
was
just,
black.
yeah, one was
The other one curled around his fingers, so what do you call it, curly?
Curly, I think. Blackie and Curly. But he loves all animals. And I think it's really neat that Joanne has taken to that same love. At least she's really good at it. And helps take care of all their little things. But I just hope best for them. I'm sure they'll do well as long as they have good communication and probably say those 3 magic words every day. I love you.
Hey Ben and Joanne, Graham here.
And Gramps.
We wrote down a few things on marriage because we couldn't do this off the top of our heads. So these are our wedding wishes to you. Congratulations to both of you on your wedding day. How happy we are for the both of you. You are embarking on the journey of a lifetime, and this is going to be so exciting. Gramps and I pray that the Lord will do for you what He's done for us for the last 47 years of our marriage. Every year we're amazed at how faithful the Lord has been to us, how He's blessed us, how He has continued to grow both of us in our faith and increase our love for each other. We have placed a high priority on biblical principles. Some say that it is important to marry the right person, and it is very important. We also feel it is important, just as important, to be the right person in a marriage. True happiness and real love require daily effort by both of you. Love can last a lifetime if you nurture it and treat it as a valuable treasure. So may love, trust, respect, forgiveness, and fun motivate your daily lives. We think that these 5 words are the most important, and if you put the effort into doing them every day, that's where the fun comes in. Of course, doing the dishes and taking out the garbage, that can't hurt also. So Ben and Joanne, you 2 young people are embarking on the journey of a lifetime, and our love and prayers go to you. So best wishes.
Congratulations and many blessings.
We love you both.
Congratulations, Joanne and Ben. I hope you guys have a long and happy life together. Joanne, I don't have one specific favorite memory of you, but I have several. I was recently going back through a lot of the pictures to spark some memories. My favorite memory is just taking pictures with you. We took a lot of pictures together, and here are a bunch of them on screen now. Doing all these pictures and having fun and dressing up and having a laugh, I think is one of my favorite memories. So, yeah.
You know what? Yeah. No, growing up with Ben was weird because we always fought, but we always got together. And then we'd always hide crap from mom and dad, like stuff that I shouldn't say. Favorite memory, when we actually got along, and then when he actually let me play the PlayStations we had. I would describe Ben as a bear. He's loving, caring, and stuff like that, but he never poked a bear. Otherwise you'll get the claws. Where do you see Ben and Joanna in 10 years? I see them having a bunch of kids so I can be the favorite uncle and spoil them all. Funny stories about me and Ben. The one time when I slept with mom and dad and he was on the top bunk and he was sick that night and he puked all over the wall onto my bed. So glad that I wasn't sleeping there.
Joanne was fun to grow up with. She always had fun ideas for stuff to do around the house, and most of the time she convinced us to actually go outside to help with the garden, to move wood. She was a big motivator. I don't know if I would have done any of that stuff if it wasn't for her. My favorite memory of Joanne was building the houses in the woods in the backyard. We ended up making these make-believe houses in the woods, and we'd create little kitchen spots on a bedroom. We would use all these little things that we'd find in the woods to help make the houses better. And then we'd create paths to connect them to everyone's house, and it ended up being very fun and my favorite memory. I love her ambition. She's always looking for something new to do. She was brave enough to study in Costa Rica and Europe. She was always drawing too. She would draw these little cartoons. Joanne is creative, ambitious, loving, and fearless. Joanne and Ben are a perfect balance of each other.
What was Ben like growing up? If you couldn't find him, he was outside. Would you describe Ben? Nerdy and caveman. First impression of Joanne was just her smile. Do you have any funny stories about Ben? Yeah, when he hit a garbage can with his car and also a crow. Where do you see Ben and Joanne in 10 years? Living together in a farm, 2 to 3 kids, and a zoo. What should they do their first year of being married? Go to Europe.
My favorite memory would be us playing detective in the woods. So we would grab our own little case, we would get our little walkie-talkies, and we would go around into the woods and we would look around for clues and then set up something, and then we would figure out who did it or what happened, and it was just really fun, and I always enjoyed doing that with her. I don't know if she remembers, but it's such a fun memory for me. She's always down to do anything, and she's always up for a challenge. So I feel like if she wants to do something, she'll put her mind to it and she'll just get doing it. I love that they're so happy together, and it shows, and that they complement each other. They work really well together, and you can tell they're both so happy together, which is amazing. They give and take something from each other that they both need. As Jolene is very calm and collected, I feel like Ben really hypes her up and gives her, like, makes her really happy all the time. I really like that Jolene and Ben both cherish each other and that they're both there for each other. I can tell that they both want to be around each other for the end of time, which is so refreshing to see, and I really hope nothing but the best for them too in the future. I'm just so happy that they're together and they're finally getting married.
What is your favorite memory of Benjamin?
Favorite memory was when I went downstairs and he was doing push-ups, and when he said to me, hop on my back, and I hopped on his back so he could do harder push-ups.
What do you think about Ben? What do you remember about him?
He's a nature person and an active person, so he liked a bunch of animals.
What's his favorite animal?
Snake.
And what do you think of Joanne?
She's pretty nice. She's kid-friendly.
What does she do all the time?
Plays with kids like Kaylee and me.
She always did everything first, except jumping in the water. We used to come to this beach that's behind me, and it used to be more beachy and sandy, and we'd go swim out and then come back and walk through this way. When she was walking through, I guess she stepped on literally a nest of leeches, and she came out of the water and had 6 to 10 little baby leeches just sucking on her foot, and she started freaking out. And I remember she's like, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? We had to climb up the hill to find her mom, and then we had to go out on the dock, but she had to pull them off in the water one by one, and then we were all traumatized by it, and to this day I still will not walk on this beach. Every time I'm getting out of the water, it will be the dock. They bring out sides of each other that I've never seen. Unfiltered, will say whatever's on their mind. They bring out good sides of each other, more of an adventurous spirit for both of them, I think. Well, I know they're planned for the next 3 years, so I could say that I could see them getting into a house, but I could probably see them both wanting to start a family and being that family who does all the camping trips.
What's your favorite memory of Ben?
When we were walking the dogs and a snake jumped out and it scared me, and Ben told me, don't worry, it's a grass snake.
Does Ben know everything about snakes?
Maybe.
Do you like his snakes?
I miss Gilgamesh. That's the only name I can remember of the snake. That's why I liked him the most. And he was the smallest, so.
How would you describe Benjamin to somebody?
If he had one spot to live, it would be the nature in a hammock. Side in a hammock.
So what do you think of Jolene?
She's nice and she can do your hair. Yeah.
She does it really nice, doesn't she? Do you think they'll have kids someday?
Ben doesn't look like a father.
How about Jolene?
Maybe.
Hello sis, I miss you, and I would like to say just a quick message in this happy moment. I'm forever grateful for you to choose me. Even if you have 4 sisters, you chose one more. Thank you. Really, for choosing me, because that made me who I am today. So grateful for you, Jolene. One of the happiest moments in my life. I don't know if you remember, but it was one day before my birthday and you came from Cascade. You were just talking about stuff and life. We had a really great time. Then you asked me, hey Anna, let's chase stars outside. And with no doubt, I just put 4 layers of t-shirts and sweatshirts. That time I was really cold still. We just went outside. You were teaching me how the stars are and how are the planets, and every country the sky looks different. I really liked that moment, and everything was so nice and peaceful. It was the perfect moment because I could understand me. It made a big difference in my life, even if it was 5 minutes. Thank you, Jolene. Sorry for crying, even if we don't talk for such a long time.
I miss you. I will always be grateful for you to choose me. Really, Ben, I know we don't know each other. I'm pretty sure if Jolene chose you, you are the guy. Please, always be thankful for that because Jolene is amazing. Big kiss with all of my heart to these happy birds. See you soon.
Hi, I am Jim's brother, Joe, Ben's uncle.
And I'm Joe's wife, Jill, Ben's aunt. So Ben, growing up, was always sweet, super sweet kid.
Yeah, for the most part.
No, he was sweet. But I would say like at family gatherings, more like seen and not heard. Usually maybe off doing I don't know, some kind of video games or...
Yeah, usually it would be Nintendo.
Although, until
college.
I would say college
Yep.
as well. In fact, I remember one time when we were coming home from some, I don't know, Thanksgiving or something, saying to you, like, what happened to Ben? Like, where did this come from? Suddenly he's full of stories and he's got all this interesting stuff to say and he wants to talk to you. I feel like he just like showed up. And now he and Joanne, like, that's the perfect. She's like that same, they're on the same vibe, same wavelengths.
Right, I think UWSP did a great job on Ben and Joanne.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't mind occasional expenditures on reptiles, many reptiles, and maybe an occasional snake escape in the house or whatever.
And don't mind the frozen mice in the freezer.
Yep.
I would say that, you know, now you're a team, so you're gonna have to play off of each other's strengths. So certain things Ben you'll do, certain things Joanne you're gonna do. One thing that I would say that maybe Ben you shouldn't do, like the cabin air filter in your car, you know, maybe that's something that you're gonna probably wanna let Joanne do. But you know, you're gonna have to work those things out as you grow together.
And I would say too, in all seriousness, no matter how well matched you are, there are just always ups and downs. There are good days, bad days. We wish you the best. We're so excited for you. Congratulations.
Hi, Jillian and Ben. It's Aunt Margie coming to you with a message from Peninsula State Park in Door County. We are here camping and we're sending a special message to you for your wedding. We are so happy for you two. We're hoping that you enjoy the great outdoors as much as we do. Been asked to think about a few memories of you, Joanne, from when you're a young girl till today. When I started thinking about it, I couldn't think of any one time when I ever spent time with you alone very much because you were always with your sisters, Lauren and Iris. Even for our birthday weekends, you were always with them. But I do have fond memories and lots of fun times of you with your sisters at our tea parties in the summer, doing the scavenger hunts and drinking tea with our hats and dresses. As you got older, I definitely could see that you were going to be a little more independent, adventuresome. You have shown that by your many trips. I was so happy when you decided to go to UW Stevens Point and then you found the man of your dreams there, just like I did 40-some years ago, meeting your Uncle John while at Stevens Point. We want to wish you the best. John's going to come propose a toast to you two.
Best wishes from the both of us to the two of you on your special day. We hope you have as many great travels and camping adventures as we have. Bye.
I met Ben about 5 years ago when we were on the swim team together. I was just a freshman and he was a sophomore. And well, we started to get to know each other a little bit as teammates. Then we started to kind of hang out sometimes as friends, and eventually hanging out sometimes as friends became hanging out all the time as best friends. And I'm glad to say that in the 5 years I've known Ben, he's still the same old Ben, and I'm glad to say that we'll be best friends for years to come. Hanging out with Ben always creates a lot of fond memories. Perhaps one of my favorites was the time we were in Stevens Point heading back in from a night out, and I don't even remember how it happened, but one of us decided, hey, let's turn on the Magic School Bus theme song in the car. So we did, and then all of a sudden it was 10:30 at night, and we're driving through the middle of Stevens Point with the Magic School Bus theme song blaring out the windows, and a lot of people on the road staring at us. I think the future holds a lot of great things for Ben and Jolanne. I foresee them both excelling in their careers, and I picture them building a beautiful family, and I'm most excited for the opening of the Shills Herpetarium.
A funny story about Jolanne. One that comes to mind would be our freshman year, I believe it was. We were getting ready for prom. She had a gymnastics meet that day. Rushed to my house quick to get ready after it. I was already finished getting ready, and she hopped in the shower really quick so she could wash off. And then when she got out, we brought multiple hair dryers down so we could blow dry her hair. We had so many going at once that we blew a fuse in my house. I think the funniest part of it all was just how we actually looked after her. We thought we looked really good when we really did not. I mean, it was our freshman prom. What I like most about Jolanne is that she is always there for you no matter what. I can remember in high school, I had my sectional final softball game, and it was over an hour drive away, I believe, and she still came down for the game. She skipped her track banquet senior year to come and support the softball girls going off to state, and there are a couple of really good pictures of Jolanne and I after her, and she's giving me this big hug and she spins me around, and I just remember feeling like she was one of the best friends that I could ever possibly have. I think it's cool to still be friends. You know, we've been friends since 8th grade, but to be middle school, high school friends, to go through college, and now we're basically adults. I think there's going to be even more growth from what I've already seen, and also we'll be able to see her and Ben grow together.
Congratulations, Jolanne and Ben, on your marriage. I am so happy for the both of you, and I can't wait to see what the future leads. We met as when we were kids. We grew up together. Our families were always hanging out. They were always close. We always hung out at deaf parties. Now we always kind of vibed with each other, I guess. And that's how we became friends. I think we grew closer when we went to Coda Camp for 6, 7, 8 years in a row, and we were always with each other for 2 weeks in a row, and we grew close, we made friends, but then we also stuck by each other's side. We've grown into this beautiful, independent woman, and Ben, you are a lucky guy, and you guys are gonna enjoy life together, I can already tell. I just can't wait to see where the future holds for the both of you, and I'm so excited.
Hello, Jolanne and Ben. I wanted to stop in on your wedding day and say hello and congratulations and share my excitement for this moment for the two of you. It's crazy to think back to, 4 or 5 years ago already when I met you both. And, you know, I'm so grateful that me and Jolanne had that serendipitous moment where we walked into the same club and I recognized you from all of my friends' stories of you. And it's so exciting that our friendship could build from there separately and still to this day have such a strong friendship with you. It was great to watch, you know, through our 3 years of college together, that you built in independence, you built in knowledge, you built in passion, and to come back from your exchange experience and find such a great connection and passion with someone else. And Ben, you so clearly share that with Jolanne. It's great to see the two of you connect. It's great to see the two of you share knowledge and love and encouragement, and I just know that that will never end for both of you. You both walk through life with great joy, great excitement, and I can only be that joyous and excited for you two to come together and spend the rest of your lives together. I love you both, and I wish you the best.
I first met Jolanne freshman year of college when my roommate Alyssa and I went to UWSP's Sign Language Club meeting at the beginning of the semester, and we saw Jolanne from across the way, and I remember that she signed Backpack at one point. I don't know why that stuck with me, but Alyssa recognized her from prior to college and through mutual friends, and so we started a conversation after the meeting, and we kept talking as we walked across campus, and we realized that our dorm buildings were right next next to each other, and we've just known each other ever since. Julianne has always been a really confident person who just gives off this super positive energy wherever she goes. And when I first met her, she was super energetic, very bubbly, very happy, has a super contagious laugh. She's really good at making people feel at ease and comfortable. I could also tell right away that she was very active. I could tell that she was a very determined and motivated person, which I admire a lot. Since being with Ben, I don't think any of that has changed. I think that she's just continued to grow more into herself, and I think that they kind of highlight those attributes in each other. So in terms of where I see Ben and Julianne in 10 years, they could be doing any number of things. I can definitely see them running like a homestead, farm, growing all their own vegetables, having huge gardens. I can see them having about 38 animals. I see them both pursuing careers that they find very fulfilling. They're both such motivated people. I see them motivating each other to be successful. I can see them going to a lot of beautiful places and hiking and being in nature and enjoying the outdoors. And I see them bringing along their dog that comes everywhere with them, or maybe they have like an adventure cat. They go hiking all over the country, all over the world. I can see them traveling, but always maintaining a pretty strong home base. I see them being really happy and successful, and I'm really excited to see what happens next.
When I proposed to her.
When he proposed, it was so perfect. Everything about it was so perfect.
We were out on the land up north.
So we went up north to go to my family's cabins, and that we were gonna stay the whole weekend.
Probably both years I've gone now was awesome, and always a good time to be around her family and just to be up there with her.
Knew the proposal was coming. He'd like asked me some questions, and we were doing a lot in August, so I knew it was gonna come at one of those weekends, but I had a big leaning towards when we were gonna be up north camping, and especially because it was gonna be around my family. I was running a race that weekend, and it's like one of my favorite places on earth.
How I proposed, so right after her half marathon in town, so she was really tired.
I ran a half marathon that morning, and I thought he was gonna do it at the end, and I was like, no, Ben knows me better than this. I don't want him to be out in public with everybody able to watch or like record or whatever they want to do. Thought that was gonna happen, but I was like, I don't think Ben would even want that. I thought it was gonna happen, but at the same time I'm like, no, he wouldn't do that because neither of us would want that. And then I see him like 2 blocks away from the finish line. I'm like, okay, it's not happening, so good. Then I was like, I don't know when it's gonna happen now. After the half marathon, then we went out for a little hike. It was like a very scenic hike with like waterfalls and everything, and it was like pretty cool. And I was like, but in my head it was like already out, and I was like, he wouldn't do it. He's not gonna bring a ring out here either. And so I knew it wasn't gonna happen then. When we got back to the cabin, I was like dying at that point. I was so hungry.
But I didn't really give her a chance to go eat. I was like, let's go. I like was so nerve-stricken the day before and the day of, like driving up. Part of me wanted to get it done, but I also want to make sure it was done right. So we walked along the lakeside.
We were planning to go take a big hike that afternoon, and Ben was like, hey, we should go check out the trails because the maintenance wasn't kept up that well that summer. And so he's like, we should go check out the trails because lunch is still just being cooked right now. We have this time, and we can just go check to see like what kind of gear we need to bring, and then if we should even do it in the first place. He's like, okay, whatever, we just gonna get to lunch. But I don't mind being in the woods. And so we like walked down there. We were like walking through there, and he's like really quiet the whole walk. Usually we're pretty quiet on hikes together because we want to like listen for stuff. I don't know, you can just feel what he's feeling too.
Until we got pretty close to the wooden chapel, like the old chapel that's out there.
And then we got out to like a point in the trail.
Asked her some questions about what the place meant to her, and I remember coming last year, and when she turned around, I was already down on one knee and asking her to marry me.
And then he proposed. It was just so sweet. I like couldn't stop. I'm gonna start crying thinking about it. Because it was just so sweet. He said such nice words and everything. It just like meant so much.
And then the mosquitoes were crazy, so we had to get out of there quick.
Then the ring was like perfect because I showed him like different things that I wanted in a ring, but I was like, I can't find the exact thing that I really want. But if you get like 1 or 2 of these aspects, that's fine by me. I'll love it anyways because that's what I want. And then he put everything together in a ring. And yeah, that was like the perfect day.